Okay. Oh my gosh. Looks like I'm. Who the fuck care? Well, I kind of care a little bit. Hold on. Alright, so I was reading the Franklin Square Almond Herald. I don't know what the name Herald is from. Maybe I'll look into that later. Actually, I will look into that later. Hold on. Watch me as I write. No, I'm not a fag. I love women. Oh, my paper is ripping. You want to see? Okay. Ew. If I don't find out myself, someone will tell me. Watch. I'll let you guys know when it happens. Okay. Reading the Herald. This little hairy page. I don't know. Herald. Here. And. Bitch, where the fuck are you? Bitch! Okay, reps. I don't know what that means. Reps. Who are the reps? Reps want deceptive. Oh, reps want deceptive. I'll view for the screen. Reps want deceptive mask wearing reinstated. So basically, this actually happened at Hofstra University on Long Island, New York, where I live. And it was during a high school graduation. And I believe I was there. I don't really know why God didn't tell me to fucking murder the people who did the stabbings, but he didn't. What's it called? At least 5 of the 6, there were 6 people who stabbed 2 people or something like that. There was a stabbing at the graduation at Hofstra. And 5 of the 6 people were masked. That's actually how you should pronounce it, to be honest, which is actually funny. I think this bill balances First Amendment rights against public safety, and it does well. So basically, it used to be, I guess, illegal to wear a mask. But because of COVID, they made it legal. Like, unless you have a good reason to wear a mask. You can't just, like, you weren't allowed to just wear a mask anywhere. So all that face mask stuff that you guys see people doing, and I've done it times before. You know what I'm talking about, but I wanted to get it for assignment purposes, but it doesn't really matter. If I could find it very quickly. Yeah, this right here. See how it works? Yeah, so basically, I guess I used to be illegal. I didn't even know that. And then, well, that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm about to do some research. And I'm going to say what to do. But I want to see how true this is. So, that's the topic. And we are about to solve it. I'm going to switch to my computer. I figured out how to screen record. And I'm going to, like, combine the 2 videos, So to continue that bit, this is what I do. Right now I'm reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I was halfway through, but some sexy bitch took the fucking bark. She took the bark out the tree. She took the bookmark out, and I lost my place. And I kind of just want to, that wasn't my highlighting. And I just want to read the whole fucking thing again. But I became a nut. So whenever I don't understand a word, I define it. So that's what's going on here. And I'm actually on page 2 of the preface because of that. And yeah. So that's what I did. I put the words there that I wanted to define. I don't usually ever do this, but because they are within the, I don't know, field of presidentialness, which I will be president of the United States of America, and hopefully leader of the world. I just want to put it in there because it has to deal with that. Okay, so that's that. Going back to the screen record on the computer. Yeah, this is not gonna fit TikTok, but that's the whole point. Is that it is focusing on the whole movement. This reverse Dalmatian is blood. That it's focusing on the removing of the whole entire thing of wearing a face mask and saying the reason why is because we don't want the negative to happen. But the problem is that the positive of that suffers from it as well. So, what to do? President of the United States addressing America. See, this is also the problem as well, though, is that each state can go by its own thing. Hold on, I get to get a drink so I can get rid of my Slytherin. Hold on. Cranberry and cherry is actually pretty good because sometimes cranberry can have that like little ass taste to it. You know what I mean? I think, and the cherry gives it like that, like, ooh, it's good, sweet again, you know. But it's like strong too and good and balances out better. I had the cranberry and pineapple, but that was like too sweet. Felt like I was like munching on a pussy or something. Alright. How are you gonna be president when you talk like this? Cause I'm a real human. I'm a real human. I'm not gonna pretend to be anything. But you'll see when it comes down to it that I make all the right choices. And that's all you really care about. You want to like get some anger out and you shouldn't say that. You can do that all you means. The fuck does that matter to me at all? Yeah, this is a problem. The fact that each state has its own right to do. I mean, it's not a problem, but it'll never be like this when everybody is doing their own separate and different thing, and that. The fear of being ruled by a dictator has also, obviously a dictator is bad, right? But the fear of that has led to the ability to be as separate from whatever and as different from whatever as possible. And how do you expect unity when everything is different? So somehow we would all have to be different, but still be one. Is it possible? Truly possible? Like 100%. A lot of people say, I've heard my whole life, well, yeah, that's just how, when talking about bad. Well, yeah, that's just how it is. It's always going to be bad. It's always going to... Why? No. We all have choice. So that means that all that bad that goes on in the world is chosen to go on. So what does that mean? They're influenced by evil, right? So evil may exist until God deals with them, but we are the vessels that bad can potentially come through. So the only way that evil goes from the spiritual realm or whatever's around us to the physical world is through us. So we can choose for evil to not exist. And I would think that in order for that to happen, we'd all have to be on the same page. But addressing this mask ban law, I guess no face masks, then they would have been caught. But what are you trying to do? You're trying to catch them, or are you trying to prevent what happened from happening? Because if you catch them, it still didn't prevent what happened. And I was there. There were security guards there and stuff like that. I don't know when it happened, but... bitch. Hello, hello, booty hole, booty hole. Just testing. Ha. Beep, 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 beep. Okay. Limited time. Uh. On June 13th, 2020, New York State repealed its anti-mask law, and on June 9th, 2020, so 4 days prior, fucking weird, Washington, D.C. City Council voted to repeal its anti-mask law. What? So this is a state-by-state thing, okay. I guess that's how all things are, right? The United States of America. So it was New York, and then somehow I went back in time and 4 days before. Why did you word it like that? Okay. Is it illegal to hide your face in public? While wearing masks or disguises is not usually illegal. I'm learning how to speak. While wearing masks or disguises, it is not usually illegal, comma. If someone wears a mask or disguise to avoid being detected by the police, he or she could be charged with a criminal offense. In other words, like, I think if they pull you over and they take off your face mask for whatever they pull you over for and they find out that you have a criminal thing, then you're fucked. Under California Penal Code, under California's penis code section 185 BC, it is unlawful to wear a mask or a disguise in order to evade the police. So that's kind of like a retarded ass law, to be honest. And retard is not offensive. That implies that retards actually are labeled and classified as retards. That's retarded. Okay. It is unlawful to wear a mask or disguise in order to evade the police. That's really, yeah, it's really retarded, because you could simply just say, I'm not evading the police. And then it would be going to a thing of like trying to prove if you are evading the police, and well, you have a crime. Well, yeah, I still wasn't evading them though. Oh, what? That's really a stupid law. Basically, I don't know. They're trying to like fucking make you not wear a mask, but you can. Basically, is what's going on. Repealed its anti-mask law. So let's look at what was the anti-mask law. Wait. Official anti-mask law. Anti-mask or anti-mask laws are legislative. Define legislative. Having the powers to make laws. Relating to laws or the making of them. Relating to a legislator. Legislature. Legislator.
Legislature.
Legislature. The legislative body of a country or state. Okay, I understand. Do you understand? Anti-mask or anti-masking laws are legislative or penal initiatives prohibiting the concealment of one's face in public, meaning no. Anti-mask laws vary widely between jurisdictions in their intent, scope, and penalties. That means state by state, I guess. Define jurisdiction. Sexy bitch. The official power to make legal decisions and judgments. Okay, hold on. I want to define these words properly. So hold on. Just give me 1 second, okay? Screen record. Just give me 1 second. So actually, Okay. Okay. Um. Jurisdictions and their intent, scope, and penalties. But what was the? So I guess we'll go with the New York thing. New York State's anti-mask law was enacted in 1845 to provide for public safety after disputes between landlords and tenants. Whoa. Many anti-mask laws date back to the mid-20th century when states and municipalities. You thought I was struggling to say that word, bitch? No, I just had to burp. Burp? Such a weird word. Municipality, municipalities. Fuck. Municipalities. 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 Now I forgot how to fucking say it. Fuck. This may be a YouTube video. No! You fool.
Municipality. Municipality. Municipality.
Municipalities. So municipalities must be, right? Municipalities. Okay. When states and municipalities pass them to stop the violent, or what does it mean? A city or town that has corporate status and local government. Whoa. No, fuckhead. What? Relating to a corporation, especially a large company or group. City or town that has corporate status and local government. The governing body of a municipality. I hate when definitions aren't really clear, you know what I mean? Alright. Many anti-mask laws, when states and municipalities pass them to stop the violent activities of the Ku Klux Klan. Ah, okay. So a face mask is a little different from people like wearing fucking 3-foot high white masks that you clearly know what their movement is for. Whose members typically wore hoods of white linen to conceal their identities. In the 21st century, those laws have been applied to political protests such as... Oh, that's so fucking bullshit. That's such fucking bullshit. How does shit like this go on? How does it possibly go on? It's because these people don't fucking care. They're the people in the laws, like the positions and jobs have to deal with these things. They don't fucking care. They don't look into things in detail and stuff like that. I don't know what the fuck is up with them. I don't know why they have these positions. You would think that they would care to look into these details if they had these fucking positions. Fucking whores. In the 21st century, those laws have been applied to political political protesters such as... I actually really like them. The anonymous guys, I don't know why. I was drawn to them, if you will. Protesters such as those affiliated with the Occupy movement was an international populistic socio-political movement that expressed opposition to social and economic inequality and to the perceived lack of real democracy around the world. Wow. It aimed primarily to advance social and economic justice and different forms of democracy. The movement has had many different scopes. Okay, we get the gist of it. That is interesting that I read that. Anonymous, hello, is a decentralized international activist and hacktivist collective and movement primarily known for its various cyber attacks against several governments, government institutions, and government agencies, corporations, and the Church of Scientology. Interesting. Wearing Guy Fawkes masks. Okay. These laws have been challenged on the grounds that they violate the guarantees of the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. The First Amendment to the United States Constitution prevents the government from making laws respecting an establishment of religion, prohibiting the free exercise of religion, or abridging the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press. Oh, look at this shit. This is the shit that revs me up. The freedom of the press, the freedom of assembly, or the right to petition the government for redress of grievances. It was adopted on December 15th, 1791 as one of the 10 amendments that constitute the Bill of Rights. Hold on, because I'm just going crazy right now. Look into the Bill of Rights. What else is that? The tenant. Where were you, bitch? The amendments, right? Look into or read whatever the amendments. The Bill of Rights was proposed. All right, I'm not gonna get into that right now. Okay. To free speech and free association, some courts have weighed freedom of speech against the public safety interest. Gonna have to hold on with you right now, Bill. For what the fuck? Where am I? To free speech and free association. Some courts have weighed freedom of speech against the public safety interest and upheld such laws. For example, the Georgia Supreme Court found the law constitutional on the grounds that the wearing of the mask is an act of intimidation and a threat of violence. That's assuming, though, which is not protected speech. That law has exceptions for holiday celebrations, theater performances, and occupational safety. Sometimes you just want to wear a mask because you don't want people to see your face, because people just be looking at you and you don't want people to look at you, and when you have a mask they don't look at you. The ruling makes it unclear if someone is violating the law if they wear a mask without the intent to threaten violence. Exactly. That's the key, is that it is not talking about wearing a mask that has no intention to do anything wrong. It is just focusing on the wrong. It's saying no to a whole... Okay, back to the phone. Trying to figure out how to do webcam possibly, but I don't think you could do it. Or I'll try to figure it out later. But let's look at what happened. I mean, I could just read the newspaper, but all right. Hofstra stabbing. Two stabbed after. Okay, let's look at.
Meanwhile, some breaking news on Long Island where two people have been slashed following a high school graduation ceremony at Hofstra University. This happened just after 4 p.m. outside of the Max Sports Complex. Sources tell Fox 5 a masked man targeted an adult who was slashed.
Okay, hold on. That is the soccer field. Yeah, I was right here. Okay.
The leg. Another person tried to intervene and was slashed in the ear. Now, both are expected to be okay, but no word of any arrests.
Have some new information about that breaking news just into Eyewitness News about that stabbing at Hofstra University on Long Island. It's worse than we thought. 5 masked men said to have attacked a high school graduation procedure right there. You can see what's happening down there. Shannon Stone can see what's happening up above. She's.
What do you mean it's worse than you thought? I'm not trying to, like, they got stabbed in the ear and the leg and they're okay. I don't know. It's just a little odd to me. Is it the 5 men that is, like, so astounding to him?
Newscopter 7 with the latest. Shannon?
Yeah, we can't even imagine something like this on a day that should be celebratory. It was the end of the graduation ceremony at the Academy Charter High School that was happening here at Hofstra University's David S. Mack Sports and Exhibition Complex when 5 masked men attacked a guest of the ceremony. A student attempted to intervene, and the result was that the guest was stabbed in the leg, a student stabbed in the ear. Both of them have been taken to a local hospital. Unclear at this point if anyone is in custody, but again, 5 masked men coming up on these 2 people at the graduation just as the commencement ceremony was ending. Reporting live over Hofstra University, Shannon Stone, Channel 7, Eyewitness News. And Bill, I should mention
we
understand
bitch.
that this all originated as a domestic dispute that spilled over into a very public setting.
Oh, just horrible. Okay,
what does that mean?
Shannon, thank you. Keep us posted on your development.
Define domestic dispute. A domestic dispute is when people who live together, family members, have a big argument that can sometimes turn violent. This can cause someone to call the police for help. Domestic violence is when someone hurts another person in their household, like a spouse or child. So, but how are they masked? Like they had the mask on them and they put it on, or they went in with the mask on, or they were allowed? Because how do they know it's domestic? Like, what the fuck? Probably because people around them heard them like talking about some shit, and the way they're arguing, it was evident there was a domestic dispute. But did they always have the masks on, or did they put the masks on at some certain point, or blah 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 blah? Kind of weird. Shut the fuck up. Oh, 6 people have been arrested and now face gang assault charges in connection to a stabbing this week following a charter school graduation at Hofstra University on New. See, that's what I was thinking it was. I was thinking it was more like, I don't know, some high school, he's graduating, whatever, and, you know, some people are like, yeah, well, I bet you won't show up, and they did. Like, that's what I was thinking. The Nassau County Police Department says Isaiah Moore, these people, all from Hempstead, New York, have been taken into custody in the wake of Wednesday's incident right after the Uniondale Charter School. Yes, like I think it was like kind of like a local kind of just beef kind of bullshit kind of thing. According to detectives, 3rd Precinct officers responded to 1000 Hempstead Turnpike for an assault. Police said in a statement, upon arrival, it was determined that 2 male victims were involved in an altercation. The altercation escalated and resulted in one victim being slashed on the back of his left eye, and one victim was slashed on his right ear. So where did the mask come into play? I don't really like that I just showed him right there, but I don't know, they did do it. It's like fucking kind of a weird thing. But why are there 6 people there? I'm confused now. The source told the station that the masked men attacked an adult guest outside the David S. Mask Sports Exhibition Complex at Hofstra University in Hempstead when the ceremony ended just after 4 p.m. An adult was slashed in the leg and a graduate was slashed in the ear, the station reported. School officials with Academy Charter High School said the attack is believed to be related to a domestic dispute. I don't even understand that. That makes no sense to me. Okay. So, should, the purpose of this video, should there be a law that says you can't wear face masks that cover the whole thing? Well, first off, if you're wearing a regular like medical mask, that still may be enough to disguise your identity. Second, I guess potentially if you did have a face mask, you could potentially get away with anything as long as they don't track where you finally end up going. And then you take it off at a certain point and they don't track that you were that person. You know what I mean? Like you could have whole different clothes and that kind of thing, and I guess they could look for the evidence in that location. But if, I don't know, you take it with you, or you had a backpack, or there's ways around it. But here's the idea that I want people to think about. When something bad happens, whose right or responsibility is to deal with that bad that happens? And my answer to you is God. See, when someone does something wrong, it is God that will deal with it. But humans, understandably so, don't like the bad that goes on, so they take it into their own hands and make laws, have authorities, police, these kinds of things to enforce these laws that they have created. Now, while I understand it, and while it may create a society of 90% peace, or this kind of thing, there will always, in this way, there will always be that bad. Because the things that are keeping them from doing bad are bad themselves. You are basically saying for a cop that he has authority over another human being. A human being has authority over another human being. As a judge, a human being can decide your life. A human being can decide whether you live or die sometimes. A human being can decide whether you spend the rest of your life in jail sometimes. And they'll flip it and say, well, yeah, it's because you did this. And no, but that's not your right to do. That's not a human being's right to do. God is the only judge. God will judge everybody when judgment day comes. And whenever that day comes is when God decides. It's already decided. So what am I saying about the mask law? No, there shouldn't be a law that you should wear, that you can wear a mask and you cannot wear a mask. There should not be any law that says you can or cannot do anything. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, that's just craziness. People will just do whatever, and that's what really is what is. You understand? Like a lot of people are not actually good. A lot of people don't actually want to do the good thing. A lot of people are actually not doing things just because they have a boss and they don't want to be fired. A lot of people, if you gave them the freedom and ability to do whatever they want, they would sin a lot. Well, what do you want? You want that to happen? Do I want that to happen? No, but I'm not sure it's for me to want or not want. In fact, it's not. So what does this fast forward to? Well, this really goes fast forwarding all the way to Armageddon, or whatever the basically just like legit world war that goes on, and that shit is inevitable. So what are we really doing? We're delaying it. By fighting all this bad, we're delaying it. Now you got to think, why would people want to delay it? If you're good, then you're good. Even if you die, you're still going to heaven, or at least purgatory to wait, or rest until heaven, or rest until purgatory. So you would think, who's delaying this shit? The people who know that they're going to hell. The people who have served and been with evil their whole life. People who think that they have power and control over other humans. Lawmakers, law enforcers. A lot of these things are contract based. Sign your life away. Now I understand you're fighting evil in your mind, maybe, hopefully. Some of them know exactly what the fuck is going on. But you're doing it the wrong way. And we're supposed to just let God take care of all of this. And a lot of these laws are not God approved, if you will, and run by God and ran by God, and that's why there's holes in all these laws and stuff like that. God only gave 10 commandments, and that was the 10 commandments. I think there's like laws of Moses or something like that. I haven't read the whole Bible. I need to read the whole Bible. I believe that there's a book of Enoch, which has apparently been removed from the Bible. If that's true, that's fucking crazy. I've been watching videos on that though. But yeah, a lot of these things are not for us to do anything about. So should there be a mask law? No.